Now, one of the issues that came up during the week was whether or not grey water would be a problem for people. But I would respectfully suggest that in the context of all of the other potential problems, that grey water is a very minor issue and that inspectors will not be concerned, or in a national inspection plan, grey water will be well down the list of things that people will be looking for. There has been some mention that grant aid may become available once the department has an idea of the scale of the problem. There probably will have to be grant aid. There will have to be people who will need to be helped. And it is likely that those who are early to register will be amongst those to whom grant aid will be made available first. But what will the registration involve? The regulations haven't been published, and the roundtable discussions that we'll have later might give people here an opportunity to make some comments that with the Cork Environmental Forum we might be able to send up to the department in Dublin and say, well, here are things that are coming from a very civilised meeting of people discussing the issues. But when people are asked to register, what will you be asked to provide? Is it simply enough to give your name and address and where the septic tank is? Will you need to say what type of wastewater system you have? Is it a proprietary system? Is it a precast concrete septic tank? Is it made of blockwork? Do people know? What happens if you simply got a pipe that is discharging straight into an estuary? Because my understanding is that it's not simply if you have a septic tank, that people will be asked to register if they are not on a public sewerage scheme. So what is considered an on-site wastewater treatment system could be something as simple as a pipe that is discharged into an estuary, and those people will be expected to register. You may be asked to provide the planning permission number, so it can be cross-referenced. I would certainly expect that at some point people will be asking for evidence of maintenance and perhaps evidence that any desludging is being done by a licensed contractor. And that may be a very important key to the future role, because at the moment you have to ask the question, what is the scale of the industry in desludging? How much of it is done by licensed contractors? And what are the opportunities to create jobs amongst that sector? The registration issue. If you have a situation at the moment where there are a lot of people who are maybe having an informal approach to the desludging of septic tanks and are not using licensed contractors, if they are then required under a registration system to demonstrate that they are using licensed contractors, this is where licensed contractors should be able to operate a better system. There is also the opportunity to perhaps at some later stage introduce a levy on the licensed contractors, which may introduce a funding stream for future inspections. But that's a pure speculation on my part. There is a question about will this do an awful lot for the environment. As it is currently constituted, it can't do an awful lot for the environment because there simply isn't enough money in the mod. There aren't enough inspections there. It is an opportunity to create some form of a scrappage scheme. It's an opportunity to create a scheme where you can create jobs in Ireland, both in the manufacture of septic tanks and in the installation of septic tanks, and it would be a far better scheme than the scrappage scheme that was introduced for motor cars. There would be jobs in Ireland as opposed to jobs in Germany. Perhaps one of the most important lessons about this is that there needs to be a greater appreciation of the value of wastewater treatment to people. In an urban environment, people have not been paying for water, they have not been paying for wastewater collection and disposal. In most Northern European countries, people would expect to be paying something of the order of 200 to 300 euro for each of those services for a family per annum. In the same way, in a rural environment, through the ongoing maintenance, desludging, and other activities, you would expect that you have some form of annual cost associated with managing septic tanks or on-site treatment systems. If you do not, then you are deluding yourself. As a nation, we have to address the reasonable costs of water and wastewater services for everybody. And so, for people across the nation to reconcile the cost of water services, we need to have a comprehensive funding model for not just septic tanks, but also the public water and wastewater systems. Because at the moment, it's simply in pieces. So we need to move to a situation where there is a sustainable funding model for water services. During the round table, there'll be an opportunity to discuss a lot of these issues. I know my colleagues will discuss some of the other technical aspects, but I think at this stage I'll probably leave it there.